Am I finally live? What's up, everybody? Yo, what? 11 minutes late? That's sorry. There's no excuse. Technical difficulties or not. 11 minutes? I've never been that tardy. What's going on, guys? Listen, man, this is some bull crap over here going on, man. This is wild. Like I knew it shouldn't surprise me. I knew I was gonna start having some technical difficulties uh with a couple of alignments that's going on, right? But anyway, what is going on? I'm here, my loves. Listen, on a kind of unscheduled Mooniverse. But I planned on going on yesterday, because we got hit with that big snowstorm. Oh my gosh, we got so much snow. It's not even funny. So much snow. And I was like, no, but listen, it took me a lot of time to put together this little video. I don't know if you guys ever had to make content, right? But it takes a lot of time and a lot of love, and then of course, me being a content creator, I get very I'm very perfectionist. Like, it has to be this way, and it has to whatever. It's like a little bit is not. This. I just start seeing more. More that I could do, but anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it though. Wonderful things are happening. As always, right? That's like the attitude I always try, even though things can be hectic. But oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited for after February in particular, and you'll see why in this little snippet, right? So then me and my little hacks, like I made such a hack. I uploaded the video because I couldn't send it. It was a little too big for my email, so I could upload it to my laptop. So I had to actually download it on my YouTube, and that way you guys could follow along. So, hey, Portia, what is going on? Much love and blessings to you, girl. I hope you weathered the snow as best as you could. I know it's been crazy, like in some part of the states, because they're not used to it or whatever. Here we're used to it, The good thing is that we get hit with these type of storms and our light doesn't go out because we have a better, we have an infrastructure that's built around that, an electrical infrastructure. But I mean, listen, you never know. But for the most part, yeah, we used to it. We are used to it. And you hear me shuffling around because I'm like doing like multiple things at one time. But anyway, so I will be doing readings for Wednesday. Okay. For Mercury Day. Today I just wanted to share a download that Spirit gave to me, which is wild. Am I predicting something? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I mean, I could be wrong, but the synchronicities is the confirmation, like, right? The confirmations that I get that I'm going to show you it's wild to me. I was like, how do I come across these things, Spirit? How do these things happen, Spirit? But I have a lot of fun. With it. So, and I want to share them with you because, like I said, I make these videos mostly for my children and for my grandchildren and just to see how things play out. It's the same way when you guys keep a journal, right? When you guys keep a journal and you kind of read back at it like just a year later, you'd be like wondering, you'd be like, damn, I was in that type of mindset, and you see yourself growing, or you're like, oh man, I was so on point about a feeling that I had because look what turned out and so that's how I treat these videos. Anyway, let me jump to it because I'm not even going to be on here for too long. We just finished shoveling like 2 feet of snow, and my back is killing me right now. So, all right. So let me share my am I sharing it already? No, I am not. All right. Oh, no snow for you? Okay. Oh, I forgot where you at. I always forget, girl. I'm so sorry. With little things like that, I always forget. It's like I remember, but I forget, which I don't remember. All right, let's share this. Let me share this. Let's get through this because this is some real fun stuff. I love doing these little decodes, right? Numerology, astrology, and symbolism, So I want to make sure that I'm sharing that correctly. Am I up? Oh no, I need to come back over here and let's expand it. I want to expand it. I want to get myself out of here. And I'm going to expand it. It's a Houston. Okay, yes, Houston. That's right, Houston. Yes, that's where my brother used to live, my rising power. Okay. Oh, perfect. Look, I expanded and everything, but then I'm going to come here and make it even bigger because we're going to get out all those little extra windows out of there. There we go. Let's hope that works. Give me a second, guys. So I don't know if you guys thought, you guys already know. If you don't know, I'm a crypto investor as well as, I read the tarot, I energy reader, I get a lot of download hits. Also what you call like a dream walker a lot of the times. Oh my gosh, now that I remember, I had a dream with someone the other day and I have to get in touch with him. And the last time I spoke with him was like, whoa, it's just, not because I'm on bad terms, but it's just, just people that you talk to every once in a while, whatever. But anyway, so it's like I get messages like from other people's ancestors and spirit guides. And I'm like, well, why me? But whatever, it's not whatever either, but it's it's sometimes it's hard to explain, or sometimes I feel it's hard for people to difficult for them to understand. But anyway, let's keep it moving. So all right, so I decided to do just a tiny little decode on Donald Trump Jr., right? Donnie Jr. Because in this past week, they just held the World Economic Forum, right? The WEF, right? That's where all these leaders come around and they basically put it out there on how they're going to run the world, what's up their sleeve and all this and that stuff, right? It's a lot of rich people, blah, 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 right? Which I think people should actually listen so that you know what they're preparing, right? Anyway, so across my feed came across an announcement that Donald Trump Jr. made, right? About World Liberty Financial. That's right now it's a meme coin, but I know that they are preparing to get a banking license for it, right? To like turn it into a stable coin, whatever the case is. But anyway, but there's a lot of connections in the dates and when they're announcing it and the time that we're in and the astrological alignments, the planetary alignments. And I just want to show them to you just to show you the time that we're in, right? And people could use that for however you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? But to prepare, right? Because I personally feel we are in a very powerful time right now. We have the entire our first of all, the entire world financial system is going to switch, right? And I've had conversations like this before on my Stock Stars and the Crypto Connection show, where they're switching the whole financial system, right? From fiat cash to digital, right? And there is an opportunity for people to ride this wave, right? and get some money from it. The same way when they switched gold, actual physical gold, into paper money, right? So, okay, there's that, and there's a lot to get into that, but I'm not going to get into it. So anyway, what stuck out is the day that he made the announcement. I was like, okay, I kind of paid attention and I didn't pay attention to it. And I was like, Spirits, like, go back to it. I was like, all right, let me do this little decode with him, right? So if you see here, hold on a second. Is this, y'all see the pause button on here? That's wild. Yeah, you do. Because I have it paused. But why does it still show that it's paused? Anyway, so check this out. So let's have this playing just for a little bit. I want to make sure that that works. Okay. So Donald Trump Jr., first of all, he's a Capricorn. Okay. He was born during a fire snake year. And that clicked for me because right now we are in a wood snake year. We're still in a wood snake year, right? And I don't know if anyone has kept up, but they're still very pissed off. Him, Trump, his dad, his other brothers, they're still extremely very pissed off because, you know, with the whole thing, the scandal with Trump, and they froze all of their assets or their banks and all this and that stuff. So they're really pushing crypto, right? Because they know that that's a way to, first of all, to stick it to the banks, right? That they feel that banks should not have the control of people's money and this and this and that. And crypto, especially Bitcoin, has been like the path for that, right? People owning their own, you know, having control of their own money, their own finances, so forth and so on, right? So the thing about the snake is, if there's any animal in the Chinese zodiac, that you never want to piss off, it's the snake. The snake gets his lick back, okay? And in the worst way, okay? Like everybody's going to feel it. So when he made that announcement, which I'm going to play, but I just want to show you this guy's number, right? His numbers. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's happening. And then I come to find out that he's a master 22 life path. Like, what? That's wild. Okay. Which equals 22 equals 4. 4 is very significant. Why? Because his father, DJT, is a life path 4. So a 4 gave birth to a 4. So this is like real bloodline type of stuff. Okay. So Junior here, he's 48. Now, if you guys, right, have been listening to, you know, me in the past and stuff, I always say how number 4 is, I mean, not only it's balance, it's stability, it's law and order, but it's also the true number of wealth. And number 4's soulmate number is 8, right? So he's really in a year, a time in his life where he is going to be disgustingly financially abundant, right? But what do? You always follow the money. Okay. Now this 48 reduces to 3. Now there's a reason why, and I'm going to show you. So let me continue playing this. And so here we go. So I broke down his numbers. Okay, so this is a Capricorn. Let me show you how much of a Capricorn this dude is. Okay. So these are the different variations of the Capricorn symbol. Here you have the 76. Okay. Combined together to make this symbol. And then you have the hooked V. And then you have the N symbol with the curved tail, right? I'm just checking the chat. Okay, boom. Let me show you how much of a freaking Capricorn, right? Because like, oh, what is this? All this zodiac and finance and this and that. Because these people, all of these richy riches that run this world, they follow astrology. And I'm going to show you. Okay. As I always say in a lot of my shows, millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do. Okay, so let me show you how much this dude is a Capricorn. Let's go to the next frame. Okay, I just came across his signature. This is Junior's signature. And I was like, wait a minute, his signature looks a lot like like a symbol I've seen before. And look, lo and behold, in his signature is the freaking Capricorn symbol. Now, is he doing it intentionally? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But the energy is always going to show up, whether you realize it or not, right? So this is the combination of 7, 6, which reduces to 13. Everybody's, 13 is evil. No, it's not. It's a very blessed number, okay? Because you have 13 is a very magical number, because you have for instance the 12 zodiacs, right? The 12 zodiacs, and it's like, right, the 12 zodiacs on the wheel. The 13th is the escape, right? The escape out of the matrix, out of the cycles, okay? And 13 reduces to 4, so he's ultimately really in his energy, right? This is why I say it's very important that you guys learn about your numbers, right? Learn about yourself. So here we go. Let's continue. Which is the next frame? I forget. I put this together. Okay, so check this out. So on get this date. Is that me or is that shit mad blurry like that? Hold on. Yeah, that's what it is. But when I post this, I'm gonna post this video by itself. With with me talking and everything. I just need to show it. I need to just show you guys something because it wasn't downloading properly. So check this out. So on June, hold on a minute. Give me a second here. Let me turn this here. So January, give me a second. Hold on. I'm going to have to go to my, be patient with me, my loves. Okay. So on January 18th was the new moon in Capricorn. So that just passed. Okay. That just passed. Hold on. Let me go here. I need to go to follow my notes because sometimes I can see on the screen and other times I can't. Okay, so on June 18 was a new moon in his sign, Capricorn. Okay. Let me continue here. Let's continue to play this.
Hey guys, Donald.
Okay, now people are going to decide to call me. Get out of here. All right. So the 18th was the new moon in his sign, right? And the reason why you saw Edward there, right? Is because on new moons, because these people worship the moon, on new moons, they do their rituals, right? And you're going to notice that when they go to announce something or something happens in the market, whatever the case is, it's after usually a full moon or a new moon, right? So that new moon was on the 18th, and he makes this announcement. I'm going to play all of it in case you guys didn't hear it. So it says on January 20th, 2 days later, DJT Jr. announces a private Bitcoin and cryptocurrency conference branded as the World Liberty Forum. That's his coin. Well, right now that's his and his brother's and his father's coin, right? And I know they're going to turn, I'm telling you, they're getting licensing. It's real quiet, all right, to turn World Liberty Finance into a bank, okay? And they're going to
Trump Jr. here, one of the co-founders.
They're going to have this forum on the 18th of February. Now check it. Listen to him.
Of World Liberty Financial. I want to be the first to share with you something our team has been working tirelessly on over the last several months. Let's pull back the curtain a bit. On February 18th, we'll be hosting the World Liberty Forum, the most exclusive event in technology and finance at, where else? Mar-a-Lago, the crown jewel of Palm Beach. This isn't just another conference where random speakers pontificate for 3 days, shake hands, and fly home. We're launching a premier, invite-only forum for major players influencing the future. We're bringing together a select group of the smartest people we know and respect from finance and technology, people who are building and leading the best companies, moving serious money, and driving American innovation forward. The World Liberty Forum is a place where participants and attendees will express themselves freely. No scripts or talking points. We'll have deep conversations about a better future and the path we need to get there. A lot of what's happening now in finance and tech sounds good on paper, but falls apart in practice. We understand firsthand how flawed the old financial system really is. The trillion-dollar question is what replaces it and who builds it. And that's why we're so excited. History's next chapter might be decided at the World Liberty Forum on February 18th. More details coming soon at worldlibertyforum.com.
Okay, so there was so much there. But anyway, if you know, you know, right? So you know what else? So he had made that announcement on the 20th, which by the way, the 20th was a 4 universal day. So he's working in his energy, right? He's working in his energy to like pull, right? To pull strength, pull power from his own numbers, from his own numerology, from his own planetary alignments, from his own sign, right? Okay, so that was on the 20th. Now, I don't know if you guys saw a video that I posted on something that I particularly was witness to on the 20th, which was on Tuesday. On the 20th, my daughter was hospitalized, and on the day that they discharged her, I happened to see the sunrise, right? And I had posted it, and it was a triple sunrise, like the division of the three, like the splitting of the 3D. So that happened on the 20th, right? So he went, this is crazy. These are little things that's showing me that we are shifting. Reality is shifting. People are always talk about that. This is not whatever. People don't understand it, or whatever the case is. The shift does not look the same for everyone, right? But it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, right? So that happens on the 21st. Now, I broke down here on the 20th, my bad. I broke down here. You'll see the numbers here, right? So all these numbers come out to either 121 or the 1111. Okay, so I'll go back to that in a second. Let's continue, right? He was saying they're going to go and they're going to have that forum, that private meeting on the 18th. Now check this out. Hold on. Okay. So remember what I said about new moons? The next new moon is February 17th. You see what I said about them having, they'll do their rituals on particular moon phases. And then whatever they're going to do, whatever happens, it's always afterwards, right? It's usually 3 days. I've been noticing like 3 days, 4 days. Okay. But he's having that private forum on the 18th. So after And then it happens to be not only just a new moon, it's a solar eclipse in Aquarius. And y'all know that in my last show, I got into what Pluto in Aquarius means, right? It's a huge shift in the collective, right? In the way we want to see our world unfold, right? Okay, let's continue. And not only that, oh, wait a minute. Not only that, on that day, on that same day, it is also, see this, you see how intentional this is. It is also the first day of the fire horse year. So we're shifting, right? We're shifting from the year of the snake to now year of the fire horse. And this dude is a fire snake, which he's going to do very well during this year as well. Oh, and Trump is also a fire dog as well. So a fire gave birth to a fire, a four gave birth to a four. So this is some wild stuff. This is why they're so successful in their finances. You know what I'm saying? They say, and always say, follow the money, listen, right? Now, I do see a lot of people making the connection of this forum that they're going to hold on the 17th. They're likening it to the meeting at Jekyll Island, right? I'm going to read it here. It says a secret gathering, secret. They kept it a secret. These people, these people that created the Federal Reserve System, they kept it a secret. Not Trump and not his family. They're putting it out in the open, right? So then we see what's coming, and that way we prepare, we invest, we do whatever we got to do, make all the moves that we got to make, right? And you're gonna benefit from it, you benefit from it, whatever. So anyway, boom, a secret gathering at a scheduled island off the coast of Georgia in 1910 laid the foundation for the Federal Reserve System. That happens between November 20th to November 30th. What I put down here? Yep. And I broke down those numbers as well. The very first day, there goes the 11s as well. And it breaks down also to the 222s. That's all intentional. They pick these days intentionally, right? So let's continue. Now, wouldn't you know, that month during November of 1910, the new moon was on the 2nd as well. So they held, you see how it comes out to the same numbers, right? You got the new moon on the 2nd, and then they held their first meeting on the 20th. All you got to do is just remove the 0, and it still comes out to the same number. The 2nd of November has the same new number, energy number with the 20th. That's wild. That is so wild to me. Okay, let's continue. Now, this whole meeting of the World Economic Forum, right? It took place, the first day was the 19th. Okay. So you got the new moon that took place on the 19th of January, right? Which is last week. You have Donald Trump Jr. making the announcement, like to their face, to these people, these bankers and everything, hey, we're going to have our own forum, but on the 20th. He says he goes live on the 20th. Well, not live, he posts it on his X, right? On the 20th. And this meeting is taking place between the 19th and the 23rd. So you have the 11-9, which that's Trump, that's 47. Okay. And then you also have the 1-2-3, which I broke down. I did a breakdown on the 1-2-3 as well. Okay. So then check this out. So you have Trump Jr. that went on the 20th you want to guess who spoke on the 21st, the day after he did, like to come and like fortify like the message? Check this out.
Dancing, I'm also.
You got Daddy. Daddy came out, was like, yup. This is what we're going to do. Check this out.
Working to ensure America remains the crypto capital of the world. And to that end, last year, I signed the landmark Genius Act into law. Now Congress is working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom.
Okay, so I did a little breakdown on the bearable guy 123 meme. You'll see it in my live, right? Where I spoke about specifically, and I just want to mention this really quick, about the New Year lights, the 2026 New Year lights, and how they have a total of 589 light bulbs. They're 7 feet tall. All of these numbers, and each of the numbers of the 2026 sign had a specific amount of light bulbs in each of them. And I wrote it down here. You could go back and watch it. But what I did notice in breaking down these sequence of numbers is that here you go with the 9s, the 10s, or the 11s, right? And then at the end of everything, when I added everything up, I realized, which I didn't mention, that everything breaks down to 13 and 4, which XRP is energetically tied to the number 4 as well, because of the day that it launched. So that was wild. So this is why I say 589 not only comes up under Trump's name, but it also comes up under XRP. It's also energetically tied to XRP. Anyway, let's continue. So we have that. Let me just check the chat really quick. Give me a second. Let me check the chat really quick. Thanks for joining, guys. You guys are just chilling and listening. I'm going to be done like so soon. But this is such delicious stuff. I think it's so delicious. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Next. Let's go here. Give me a second. All right, so boom, right? So I was talking about that. And the day that I made that video, that little decode, I spoke about, oh, look at all these new moons. One new moon is 9/11. Another one is 10/11. It was crazy. Like the connections were just nutso, right? Okay, now, all of this week, I'm seeing all these videos coming through my feed about the World Economic Forum, blah, 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 which I haven't seen a lot of it. I haven't even seen a lot of the major things that I do want to hear what people are saying, just so that I have a picture of what's going to be out there, right? So I look at their logo, right? So every year their logo is different. So I see this logo and I was like, oh, interesting. So really quick in my Gemini mind, and also because I'm a marketing pro, I'm a business owner, I know what people like as far as, attracting customers when it comes to marketing, branding, and all of this and that stuff, right? So then I'm looking at this and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why is that like that? Because everything is intentional. Everything they do is intentional. And this is what I noticed. This is what sticks out in my brain. This little part right here sticks out. Okay. I was like, why did they connect? Or why is there like a half a circle going through all of these other circles? They're connecting them for some reason. And I decided I was like, because I'm busy and I'm doing stuff. And I was like, okay, well, the 3 circles reminds me of the Triskelion, right? Y'all know what a triskelion is. It's this symbol right here, which also happens to be, well, let me just read to you right here in case if you don't, right? I'm not going to assume. It's a triple spiral. It's one of the oldest Celtic symbols dating back to Neolithic times. It's thought to represent land, sea, and sky, or the cycle of life, birth, death, rebirth, or mother, maiden, crone, right? And who else has a triskelion as a symbol than none other than Ripple, right? So it's like, okay, but I really still don't see the connection. That's really, really interesting. And I think that's super, super cool. And but the three circles did I put it in here? The three circles, no. Okay, no. The three circles did remind me of I'll show you in a second. I have forgot about that idea, right? Or that thought that came into my mind. I was like, why is the three circles connected and this is how I got here with this decode with this dude. So I'm looking at his picture and I see this scar. He has this scar on his forehead. And I'm not saying that the freaking symbol on the World Economic Forum brand is that, but it's something that triggered me to really come back and look at it, right? Because it's a half a circle. So I was like, all right, I'm back here again. I said, let's keep looking. And it did remind me of the try. And I was like, okay, now this is like spirit screaming at me. Because you see the three circles right here, right? This was on the 20th. I was like, oh my gosh, there's something here. There's something here, spirit. There's something here. What is it? So I go, okay. I keep looking at this thing. And I was like, all right, you know what? I would love to know what is the degrees of this semicircle right here. And I'm like, God damn. How am I gonna? I was like, girl, you got a machine, you got a supercomputer in your hand, find out, right? So it's like, okay, let me get a graph of all of the degrees is in a circle, right? So it's like, okay, I did that. Boom, I went here. And I was like, oh, okay, I've never seen this before, but I do remember seeing it on a what? On a compass, right? Especially the ones like what do you call the ones that you draw? Like they used to make a circle on a paper that it's a compass, right? I guess. I was like, oh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now check this out. I don't think I'm reaching. I thought maybe I was reaching at first. But you're going to see some wild shit right now. At least to me, it's some wild shit. Okay. So I lined up the WEF I don't know what you would call it, the WEF symbol. I lined it up here onto this graph, right? Of course, I had to stretch it out a little bit. Not stretch, but expand. I had to expand it out. And I was like, you know what? I need to start from zero because that's where everything starts from. Everything starts from zero. Zero is infinity. It's eternal. It's never ending. It's wisdom. It's divine feminine energy. Everything starts from zero, right? And of course, check this out. If you multiply 5 times 8 times 9 is 360. And that is what a full circle is, right? It's 360 degrees. So I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, this is cool. So I was like, wait a minute. I swear I've seen this before because my mind is just going. And I was like, holy crap, this is pointing to planetary or right, I could say to my goodness, astrological signs. I was like, what? Because I'm forever looking at charts. forever looking at charts. Just by looking at this right here, I already know which zodiac is in these particular circumferences where these circles are at. I was like, nah, spirit, nah. So, and I knew I was on the money with something because this third one right here in the middle, you got 300. You don't see it here, but you got 300 smack dab in the middle. And let me tell you something. You know what I learned about trying to align all of these circles is that not everybody's idea of a circle is a circle. And I was like, oh, that's freaking crazy. Right? So that was like, nah, this can't be. This can't be. So this semicircle measures on this side of the hemisphere, because by the way, that's where a majority of all of our planets are right now, right? Is in looking at the circle on the left side of this hemisphere, and it goes straight to 160. So look how beautifully that aligns. Okay. And I was like, what? You've got to be kidding me. So check this out. Look what I found out. This is like some wild stuff. And I was like, what? Are you telling me that the middle right here, because this is the one that stuck out. And by the way, this also lines up perfectly, beautifully at 270. This bottom circle right here at 270. 27, by the way, is Gemini, is the Gemini degree. Okay. And this 300 or the 3 is the Aries degree. Which very powerful things are happening in Aries signs. As you can see, all the planets are starting to line up on one side of the hemisphere. Okay, so not only are we entering on the 17th in a brand spanking new Chinese New Year, which is the year of the fire horse, this is also a freaking solar eclipse. Okay, and this is a new moon in Aquarius. So that's taking place, and you see the can I zoom in on this? God dang it. No, I can't, because it's the actual video. If it was on a PDF, if it was just on like a picture of it, I could zoom in, but I can't. But the moon right here, because what have we been talking about? The freaking moon. All of these events are happening like a couple of days away from the new moon. So I'm going by that, and boom, look, lines up perfectly right here with the 300, right straight smack across. I was like, yo, that's wild. Now I knew I wasn't reaching. I said, these people are so intentional with all this shit. It's in their face. You know, you just got to have eyes to see. But like I said, I could be wrong. Right? But when I found that out, I felt like, look at, I put it here. I felt like Ace Ventura when he solves a freaking mystery. So I decided to get even more curious, right? I said, okay, so let me do the other side of the hemisphere. So I lined up the 0 over here. I lined up the semicircle, and it goes straight to 200. I was like, nah, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. I don't know if y'all remember, but I had said, and I shown you, and I said earlier too, that, well, I didn't say, but that XRP in particular is a Gemini coin. Okay, it's a Gemini coin, and I feel, and I know it's gonna do very, very well this year, but you know, that's not a financial advice. So I was like, yo, this is wild. So the second I saw these I know targets right here that I would, I guess you would call freaking targets, but anyway, all these degrees is right encircled here. I was like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I found out? Check this out. So remember, anytime you solve something, you always need a key. So my key is that the moon that landed right here, and it was right on the new moon on the 17th. So my key is the moon, right? So boom, here we go. So this is when I flip this freaking circle to the other side of the hemisphere. You have here the moon is smack dab again here in the 140 in the middle circle, the same way it was here in the middle circle. Boom. On June 18, 2026. First of all, that's your girl's B-Day. But it's not only that, it's also the golden ratio day, the 618. And if you know about crypto, if you know about like charts and stuff like that, like a 618, the Fibonacci, that's the Fibonacci sequence. And they go a lot, these crypto analysis, just they do like that's like their rule of thumb, the Fibonacci sequence, right? When it comes to reading the crypto charts or the stock market charts, right? So that's wild. So you're gonna tell me that this is reaching? I don't think so. At least I don't think so. And I have other dates as well. But this is a bit of a forecast. This is just a forecast. Because this is pointing a lot to also July, which I think I'm getting my information, a little bit more information together. But I think July, it's going to be explosive for crypto. I'm going to put it out there. Like I said, I could be wrong. But I think July is going to be extremely explosive for crypto. And I promise you, this little thing right here that I'm sharing with you guys, and if anyone dares to start spitting out these dates, okay, and not give your girl some credit, shame on you. That's what I'm saying. Shame on you. But I share this stuff freely. Okay. But anyway, so here we go. So I did that. That's a wild one right there. Now, I'm going to give you just a little bit of, so I'm going to end this here because there's many other dates that are very significant. Okay. Which by the way, let me just confirm it. Let me give you the new moon date for this for June. Give me a second. I didn't write it here, so I have to look it up. I promise you. I think it's actually, let's see here. It's 3 days before. You see that? It's 3 days before. That's wild. It's on the 15th, and it's on the 15th. The new moon is on the 15th, and yeah, of course, it's going to be in Gemini. So let's see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. What we're going to see, or what, maybe nothing will happen, but I'm just saying it's something I'm going to look forward to. Don't forget to wish your girl a happy birthday. Now listen, we're going to end that there, but which is interesting. Look up here how I typed this. I didn't even see that I typed this way. When I entered in the title, I put DJT Jr., WLFI, WEF, and the Zapper. I didn't even know I typed that like that. But I like that. That's like code, the X. You know how we're crazy about the X's, right? Which that's what the 2026 is. It's a 10 year or a 1. A 10 or 1, 10, right, is Roman numeral. But anyway, so I'm going to, according to certain things that I saw in this chart, I'm going to tell you something. By any chance, do any of y'all know what this symbol means? What this symbol represents? I gave you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It represents copper. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you guys been paying attention to the freaking to metals, to silver in particular, did you see what silver did yesterday? That shit went from like $100 to $150, even if 151 at one point in one day. Since when does metal move on the weekends? Since when does metal pump on the weekends? And then it dropped. A few minutes later, dropped back to 100. And I think it's 120 something. Yo, that is wild. That's wild manipulation. But silver is going to explode. Right? So if you're a little late to the silver game, I'm going to tell you right now, don't sleep on copper. Do not. I promise you, the way they suppressed silver back in years ago, back in the day, they're doing the same thing to copper. They were suppressing silver back in the day, right? Manipulating the price, getting it at cheap prices, accumulating, hoarding, right? To then make it explode here. Yes, they use silver in a lot of electronics, solar panels, computers, things like that. But the problem is the supply. There's not enough supplies. They got mines mining, but they could only mine so much in a year. This is why silver is going to explode. Now, the next thing, because I'm hearing talks of these analysts, these specialists that when it comes to, like, they know the silver game, they're like, yo, we're going to get at a point, we're not going to be able to really spare silver like that in these electronics. And the next best material is copper, especially if it's mixed with zinc or I forgot the other one, zinc and another one where it keeps it from corroding. Anyway, right now copper is $5.09 something. Do you doubt that they're gonna freaking pump copper? They stopped printing the pennies. That was my sign. I was like, oh snap, they stopped printing pennies. Yeah, they're gonna start hoarding the copper, and they're gonna do the same thing. Remember, whatever makes the news, you're already too late for it. But they didn't talk about the last pump that silver did from like 40 something up to 70 something dollars or something like that. Copper pumped as well. You didn't hear that in the news. Of course not. Because they're going to start hoarding that shit. So if you guys want to get in, I think metals, you should always invest in metals. Always. I think it's a wonderful thing to have. But yeah, man. And on top of that, there's a lot of wonderful properties on when it comes to copper, right? Here is it's great for your bones, circulation, your brain function. It helps to like you don't need to worry so much about your iron. It helps your gardens, right? It helps to neutralize the energy in your environment, in your air. And listen, come on now. You know what I'm saying? So I think copper right now is the move. So if you're going to invest in, and then on top of that, let's end the show on an amazing positive note. Not that it's been negative, it has been negative, but even more powerful. Copper is connected to Venus. It's energetically tied to Venus, which is the Goddess. You hear me? The Goddess. She's the Goddess. She is the Goddess. Oh, I love that. She's the goddess. She's the goddess of beauty, of love, and finances. Come on now. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, my loves, I think that's it. Let me check. Let me check the chat that I haven't looked over. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's what I want to share with you guys. Listen, I think we are a lot of investors that we've been waiting for a very, very, very long time. We are in for a treat this year and the next couple of years. We are very early to the game. Very, very early to the game. So, like I said, not financial advice, but listen. I'm staying very, very positive about the outlook of crypto and especially the ones that I'm invested in. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. And I will be back on miércoles, Mercury Day, Wednesday. All right. And I'll do the reading for the collective. In the meantime, if you guys were affected by the storm, I hope it wasn't so bad. And you guys were safe. And anyway, we will talk. So, oh, under an hour, not bad, not bad. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and to my later gators as well. We will talk soon. Leave me your opinion. Let me know what's like. What do you think about like? Oh, nah, you're a loca. Oh, listen, hey, how about this and this and that? Like throw some like little keys towards me. But yeah, guys, we'll talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your moon day, and we will talk soon. Love you guys. Bye.